Here, head coach Bobby Barbier, healthier head coach Bobby Barbier. The Demons heading to Central Arkansas for a 4-game series. And coach, every weekend big, your team and your coaching staff, we talked about it yesterday, but stepped up and really gave you guys a boost in your absence. We were very glad to see you Sunday. I don't know the wisdom of walking into a one-run game, but it was good to see you. I know those guys held the rope, and I know you were very happy and very proud for what they did.
Yeah, just first I want to thank all the people for reaching out. It was a tough few days, but hopefully we got a diagnosis. We'll get it worked out. We'll have to get it fixed, but it's part of it. And those guys, just the coaches, the team, just the way they played all weekend long. I got to go and see just a little bit of one game, but watched a ton of them. Listen to you guys on the phone. So it was a tough weekend for me being away, but just proud of the way those guys played, and kept going. And I think that's, like you said, a credit to those coaches that were able to calm it down a little bit when I left 5 minutes before the first game starts. So just really thrilled to be back with the team. I told the boys I'll be a little more low key, but never was too fiery anyway. But I'll be a little more low key. But it's good medicine to be back with those boys.
But yeah, you always had a low heartbeat. You weren't Taylor Dugas running around yelling and screaming. But I know they'll be happy to have you back. And such a good weekend last weekend, but also one of those things that it's a great weekend, but if you don't build on it, it really does you no good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we've talked about. And I think it might have helped last weekend, and I think it helps this weekend and next weekend, the following weekend. We and you talked about, I think maybe you don't hear, about a few weeks ago we had a chance to be in first place or 10th place after the weekend. And we played well. And then when you play well, you get more opportunities. And but it's still the same thing. It's playing ball. It's going out and it's executing when you execute. It's preparing. I think that's the thing that gets overlooked a bunch. We always talk about the games. That's what everybody wants to hear about, right? But the preparing the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday before you get on the road and go play a team like UCA. So it's we've provided ourselves more opportunity by the way we played. Now, how does that affect us? If we keep preaching the same thing we've been preaching and doing the things that it shouldn't affect us at all, because none of that matters. What matters is how we prepare in the first pitch that goes down against UCA.
Well, once again, pitching was the strong point, and 20 runs in a doubleheader. We're not gonna shirk that at all. But a deep start from Johnny Harmon, a deep start from Cal Carver, a deep start from Donovan Onutka, who has been nothing short of a revelation in series finales here the last 4 weeks. But that allows you guys, as a coaching staff, it really allows you to deploy those bullpen arms when you want and how you want.
No doubt. I mean, 4-game series, you need strong starts. You'll be hard pressed to find teams that have success on a 4-game weekend without having good starts. And I thought the bullpen guys came in. The times I got to watch they came in, they executed pitches, and played pretty solid defense behind. Without 1 or 2 maybe innings in there. But it was encouraging to see. We hit a little lull a little bit with the pitching staff a little bit, where we had a couple weekends in a row where it wasn't quite as sharp. And actually, the hitters, they kind of came and picked us up a little bit in a few of those games. And it's gonna be fun to watch. If we can get this thing on the back end when both of them are talking to each other, and we can get them both going.
We've seen Dante Stewart swing the bat very well over the first. Now he's almost played what amounts to a full season of college baseball. Sometimes I think we forget that.
Right.
He's just at game 54 or 55 of his career. We've talked so much about his bat, but his glove has come along, and his athleticism that he showed. He had a leaping catch, and then he starts the second out of the game. Donnie started, lays out, makes a great play. So he's not just a hitter. He's a pretty good all-around player.
He's a great player. We've always known that with Dante. I mean, he works at his craft. I mean, that's something that him and Spencer are out there all the time working on second base play, turned all plays, and something that he wasn't as comfortable with coming in, that he's worked to get better at. And we all know what he can do as a hitter. He's incorporated the walk into his game, which something probably didn't have as much last year in the shortened season and probably in the fall. And he's learning how guys are going to pitch him a little better, and I think you're really going to see power eventually. We have, we saw the big homer, or y'all saw the big homer this weekend. But I really think once if he keeps progressing, it's been fun to watch. It's very some hitters from the past. I think of Caleb Rick, I think of David Fry. I think guys that you can see them getting better and them starting to own the things they don't do as well at, and as they keep checking off those boxes of things to be a complete hitter, Dante's doing that.
Does he remind you a little bit of a guy you played with, maybe about 45 to 50 feet to your right for most of your career?
Yeah, he's a little different than BMO. He's it's a much different personality than BMO, but it's a little different type hitter, but same kind of competitor. Same very talented like BMO. So yeah, it does remind me a little bit.
You'll go to UCA, and you mentioned you guys a 4-0 week. They honestly, when you look at it, even with 4 weeks ago, may have saved their season in a sense, winning 3 out of 4 against Stephen F. Austin. So you're going to pick up a team that's got some confidence going as well.
No doubt. I mean, a lot of this league is when you play guys, and obviously how you play, but they had a rough stretch at it for a while, and then they got back on the horse this past weekend. So they'll be confident. There's no doubt. It's a hard place to play. If you look at, I know their record's not great, but look at their home record. Their home record's pretty good. So I think it's it'll be a challenge, no doubt about it. It'll be a challenge for us again, but we have to do what we do. Go in and compete, go in and execute pitches, go in and have those good at bats that we've been having.
Your final trip to Conway, they'll leave the conference after this year. So maybe not a lot of sentimentality, because they're not one that, when you look at the whole scope of the time Northwestern's been in the Southland, they're familiar, but they're not too familiar.
Yeah, I would say the school, probably not. I think Coach Gum is I'll miss Coach Gum. Him and I are good friends. I think that's what you miss more than the schools with a lot of these teams leaving, is the relationships we've built with, Coach Cardenas and all these guys that are that have been here for a long time. So I'll miss those guys for sure. And it'd be good to go play one last time.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.